What's up, folks? Am I on? Let's see here. Who's joining us today? How you guys doing? Are we going to break an hour? Are we going to break an hour today? Now, how do I do this? I go like this. What's my good angle? Like this. This is my good angle, so I got to wear the mic on this side. I just read that. There we go. It would be on my right lapel. How's that? Yeah, because my voice is going this way. This is my good angle. It's my good angle. It's my bad angle. My good angle. Okay, guys, I'm going to put this into a mini course, guys. Part 1 and part 2. Part 1 and part 2. Before I get to, this isn't going in the mini course. I'm just going to. Can you guys see me? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. What's up? Happy Sunday, folks. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. This is my last one, by the way. It's not my last one. And for the record, I'm looking for something with fizz and with the numbers that these have. I want the same caffeine. I want the same taurine. I need the taurine. A lot of you guys are sending me coffee and stuff like that. I appreciate it. I'll take all the free samples I can get. The MLM company saw that post. Well, 2 companies sent me some Valentis. I got Valentis coffee and I got another one. I got 2 of them. They're right there. I got two energy coffees. I'm going to have them. Thank you very much. But it's, hey, we're not starting yet. We are, hey, you know what? Let's do this right. Alexa, volume 5. Alexa, set timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now.
Thank you, honey. Okay, so now we've got 10 minutes. We are going to, well, we've actually got 12. Yes, I'm here early because I'm closing this one up. Would you guys believe that we are actually full? 111, over capacity. Let me close that. If your friends are trying to get in, just tell them to catch the replay, or if this drops under 100, they'll be able to come in, but it won't drop under 100, not today. 113, we're stopping. We're locked up. We're officially locked up. So here we are. We may start early. Why not, right? So, no, this is just because a lot of you guys are sending me, you're not commenting. I put a post up about how I'm trying to kick this stuff for a healthier alternative. Now, it's a lot more expensive, obviously, I think. Well, from it appears to be. This, what I'm concerned with is 0 calories. I'm concerned with that it has, I'm looking for how much taurine do I want. I want 2,000 milligrams per can. 2,000 milligrams of taurine. Taurine's not bad. It's all the other junk. Taurine, and I want at least 140 or at least 100 milligrams of caffeine. Those 2 things, then I'm looking at stuff for consumption, not to resell. So I want it fizzy. It's got to be fizzy like a pop. I know I can stop, but I like pop. I like the fizz. It's got to have the taurine. It's got to have the caffeine, taurine, the caffeine, and that's about it. This is almost half a liter, 473 milliliters. So farewell pretty soon. I got some pretty cool options. I'm weighing them down. You get these for $2 in Canadian dollars. So just saying. Okay. So yeah, I will definitely stop if I have an alternative, right? I need my alternative. Red Bull is same deal. The Red Bull, Monster, Rockstar, they're all about at par. Red Bull's much more expensive though. But I don't think I care much about the cost. If there's a healthy alternative, let me know. Not coffee. I want fizz, like carbonation, and what the heck are we talking about? We're just babbling because we're locked up, so we should kind of get started, right? We're gonna get started. You guys up for that? So I'm going to start the mini course at this part because I'm putting this into a mini course, guys, part 1 and part 2. Why? Because content is king. And I think that's what we're going to call it. Because today, whoops, I always look on this side. Today will be epic. Today will be epic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record around here to start including in the mini course. So welcome back from last week's part 1, or if you're watching the recorded mini course, welcome to the mini course, which will probably is, if you're watching the mini course, titled Content is King. I like that title. Goes good in SEO as well. So you're either watching me in the mini course as part 2, which is why I have a change of clothes, I hope. If you want to see my shirt. Yeah, I don't think I had this one last time. Really, there is no need to repeat yourself. There really is not. There really is absolutely no need to repeat yourself. You know I'm having fun. You know I'm having fun with you guys. So you're either catching this in the mini course or well, as I'm speaking to you, as I'm filming this, we're live. It's a Sunday. It is Sunday, November 25th. There we go. So if it's not Sunday, November 25th, you're watching the replay somewhere at some point in time. This will last for a long time. It's very generic. So in the first half of the mini course or in last week's part 1, we talked about 7 steps to getting started with content. Okay? Content is king. Content is everything. You got to get started, right? So we talked about the 7 steps to getting started. Now we're doing the thing. We're going to create content based on either last week's homework or based on the first part of the mini course's homework. The homework, downloadable homework sheet, is either in the replay of last week's webinar or in your training vault under 7 steps to getting started with content creation. Or if you're watching the mini course, it's in the sidebar. It's the downloadable homework. There, shall we go now? So, content is king. I talked about it either in the first part of this mini course or in last week's webinar. Content is everything, guys. Content is everything. The content you put out there based on what your target audience is looking for is king. It's like, this is how I look at it now because I'm feeling it. I'm experiencing the benefits. Oh, there we go. Hi everyone. That's much better. Oh, this light works magic. I think I'm due for a teeth whitening again. Not bad, but nah. I gotta get those crest strips again every 6 months because I know you care. Content, the way I see it now, it is the most lucrative thing I can possibly do today because I've got all my stuff figured out on how to get those leads, capture people in my custom audience. My content is syndicated everywhere. It lives all the time, and it's got a very clear CTA, call to action. My favorite call to action is bringing people into my custom audience. So when they either look at my content from any platform, you can put retargeting pixels within videos. They don't have to go to your blog. I'm going to get into that a little later. The options to capture people without having them to fill out information. So you can be in front of them all the time. Now, that's my favorite call to action to people who have never seen me before. Once they've seen me, the content that goes out to them is usually just to bring them back to my blog all the time, because that's how they get hooked on you. If you've got a lot of content there, and then I do that 7 times, sound like a broken record, 7 pieces of value, then 1 webinar invite where I sell. In 95% of the cases, 90% of the cases, they're automated webinars doing their own thing. Okay, I want you to look at content like this. Picture creating a bunch of mini-me's. Mini-me's. You're cloning yourself. At first I'm like, it's kind of like cloning yourself, but you're literally cloning yourself. If I ask you to take a look at something here today, you're watching me live or you're not. When people watch your video, they're watching you anyways. You might as well be in front of them anyways, except there's thousands of you out there all the time. Well, hundreds are a good start. 100 pieces of content living out there with clear calls to action, with new eyeballs going on your stuff on autopilot all the time. We're going to do a Facebook ad today, actually. And we're going to do that. We're going to get people to see the content all the time. That's the key. Those are your employees. I do all this stuff alone. Well, not anymore because I have Branding YOUniversity. Well, you're going to learn how to, you're going to learn in time how to have other people help you out if you reward them. You know, it's an affiliate program. Without going into that, the more content you have out there, the better you're going to do. It's a slow start. It takes a couple of years before the content starts working for you, or 100 pieces of content. So if you're like, well, that'll take me forever to do 100 pieces of content, okay, that's up to you. What's forever? If you do 2 pieces a week, you're done in a year. Is 1 year worth it to have people come to you all the time? Do it as half of your duties. Then the other half do hard sales or cold calls. Not cold calls, lead generation and lead conversion. You're going to have to grind that out in the beginning if you want to fund your operation. I'm not getting into that. Today we're getting into creating the actual content. In part 1, either the first half of this mini course or last week's webinar, we give you homework, okay? We got you to, in essence, are we good? We're good? We're clear? Yeah, we're clear. In essence, I got you to go find a video on YouTube. You can do it anywhere, but specifically on YouTube, we're going to do the homework today. Got you to go on YouTube. Oh, Alexa, stop. We started anyways. And then we look at a video, and then we make notes on the video on a certain topic. I won't go through all that again. If you want to know about that homework, once again, it's at using both options. If you're watching the mini course, it's at the top end of this mini course. If you're watching the webinar replay, it's in the other part 1, in the part 1 of this training, which is called 7 Steps to Getting Started. Let me grab my notes. First things first, we have to find a piece of content that we like. We do personal development at the same time. We watch the piece of content. We take notes on the piece of content, which I've done. We take notes on the piece of content. Then we create our version of the piece of content with an introduction, with a question, with the content itself, and with a call to action. Now, in the content itself, we're going to get into details here today, big time. Like, there's the 4 components, then there's kind of like subcomponents to make it unique to you. You rifle off the notes that you took in your own words a little bit, but not so much. This is a scripted piece of content. It's different than a live. This is engineered to add people to your custom audience. More than just like, here I am again. This is different. This is like, it's got an action purpose today, okay? This type of content. We're creating a soldier. I'm creating a Marc Lalonde soldier to go out there and bring me leads every day. So it's edited. I like to get them under 5 minutes. Today we're going under 5 minutes. I say under 10 minutes, but under 5 is better. So we're going to go pick a piece of content out. We're going to take notes on it. I've already done that. I've taken my notes because I've already created the piece of content. You know why I didn't do it live with you guys today? There's a reason for that. Because I suck. I suck. I'm awesome now, obviously. Obviously, I'm awesome now because I'm live. But, no, that's a joke. But I'm more comfortable. I'm just babbling. I'm rambling. There is no room to ramble in a piece of content that's to a new person, okay? So it's pre-recorded. It's extremely content-packed with a purpose, and I am bad at that. I'm really bad at that, obviously. Keeping this thing under an hour is going to be a challenge today. So The reason I'm saying that is because I want you guys to once again see how bad I am. So earlier in the week, I think I did it 4 days ago or something, I actually took the notes on the piece of content. We're going to watch not the whole piece of content that I chose from, because I asked you guys to watch a whole interview for personal development. We're going to go with the Lewis Howes one. I chose one with Kobe Bryant, the basketball player. That's what I chose. Did any of you see that one? It's a fantastic one. So many nuggets. I think there's like 10 pieces of content within that piece of content. So I chose one, 2 or 3 minute clip that's good enough for a piece of content for me to replicate, okay? So I'm going to share with you guys the clip with Lewis Howes and Kobe Bryant that I watched. I'm going to share with you guys the notes that I took from that piece of content. Then I'm going to show you guys how I did my own version from my notes without the video present. I just took notes on the video. You don't want to repeat the video. You don't want to go verbatim. And then what I've done is, here's a tip. Here's an advanced tip. Instead of just repeating the content, I have one page, which is the actual reiteration of what I've learned. In this case is, how did Kobe Bryant become one of the best basketball players in history by using math? How did he do that? That's the topic. So I get people in with that. I reiterate the content. And then I have my relation to that content. So I talk about story stitching a lot, right? I say the content, but throw yourself in there with your own experiences. That's what makes it ultimately yours. Okay? So how did Kobe Bryant become one of the best basketball players in history? By using math? Well, then I say, how did I learn to generate leads on autopilot, which is the lifeblood of any business, by using math? And it's very comparable to the lesson. It's actually the exact lesson in the content is the lesson I used to excel and be where I am today. So you guys get that, right? Try to use the life experience and throw in your life experience with the content you're sharing. Make sense? If it doesn't make sense, it's about to make a whole lot of sense. Okay, guys? So we're going through the whole process. I'm going to share with you guys right now the clip from the interview that I chose to use. It's just 2 or 3 minutes. What is it? 1 minute? Less than 2 minutes. So this is the content that I'm using to create my content. Are you guys ready? I'm plugging that in now. Let me know when you see my screen, please. Here we go. Oh, I got to do this thing. There.
You know, I had a summer where I played basketball when I was like 10 or 11 years old in a very prominent summer league in Philadelphia called the Sunny Hill League, where my father played, my uncle played, and they were like all-time greats and such stuff. And Wilt Chamberlain played in the league, you know, Earl of Pro Monroe played in the league. And here I come playing, and I don't score 1 point the entire summer.
Really?
Not one.
How old were you?
11, 10, 11.
And you're playing against other 10, 11-year-olds? Or you didn't score once?
Not one.
Were you in the game?
I was in the game.
How'd you not score?
Because I was terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
At 10, 11 years old, you were that terrible.
Awful. I mean, and I had these big knee pads on because I was growing really fast. And I had socks all the way up here, and I had like the high top
Skinny,
fades, like skinny as hell. And I scored not a free throw, nothing, not a lucky shot, not a breakaway layup, 0 points. And I remember crying about it and being upset about it. And my father just gave me a hug and said, listen, whether you score 0 or score 60, I'm going to love you no matter what.
Wow.
Now that is the most important thing that you can say to a child. Because from there, I was like, okay, that gives me all the confidence in the world to fail. I have the security there. But to hell with that, I'm scoring 60. Let's go.
Right.
And from there, I just went to work. And I stayed with it, and I kept practicing.
Is that when you think the mentality of hard work started to come in for you at that age, when you failed so miserably, I guess, that summer?
I think that's when the idea of understanding a long-term view became important. Because I wasn't going to catch these kids in a week. I wasn't going to catch them in a year. right? So that's when I sat down and said, okay, this is going to take some thought. All right, what do I want to work on first? All right, shooting. All right, let's knock this out. Let's focus on this. Half a year, 6 months, do nothing but shoot. All right, after that, all right, creating your own shot. And then you focus. So I started creating a menu of things. When I came back the next summer, I was a little bit better, right? And
A menu being like, I've got my jump shot from 15, I've got my
I got my jump
fadeaway,
shot from
I've got my-
15, I got my 3-point shot, like just open shots, not miss open shots, right?
Right.
Be able to shoot it with speed, because those kids are so much more athletic.
Yeah.
And then the next summer I came back, I was a little better. And the summer came back,
You
the
scored.
next summer I was a little better. I scored.
Yeah,
You know, it wasn't much,
Right.
but I scored.
And this
you know?
is 12, 13.
12, 13. And then 14 came around, back half of 13, 14 years old, and then I was just killing everyone. And it happened in 2 years. And I wasn't expecting it to happen in 2 years, but it did, because what I had to do was work on the basics and the fundamentals. Well, they relied on their athleticism and their natural ability. And because I stick to the fundamentals, it just caught up to them. And then my body, you know, my knees stopped hurting. I grew into my frame. And
And then your athleticism, once you have the fundamentals,
Exactly.
the hard work, the mindset, and you tack on the athleticism, it's game over.
Then it was game over.
Wow. So from 13, you're good, average still?
I was good. I was good.
good.
And then about the end of my third, like right when I was turning 14, I became the best player in the state.
At 14.
At 14.
So from 12 to 14, you went from scoring 0 to being the best in the
Yep.
state of all ages.
Yep. But it's simple. Like if you do the math on this, right? Like if you're thinking about how often kids are playing, right? And I tell this to my daughter and my daughter's team as well that I coach. So it's a simple thing of math. If you want to be a great player, if you play every single day, 2-3 hours, every single day, over the course of a year, how much better are you getting? Most kids will play maybe, an hour and a half, 2 days a week.
Right.
Do the math on that.
It's
It's not going to get it done. It's not going to get it done, right? So if you're obsessively training 2-3 hours every single day over a year, over 2 years,
You're to accelerate.
you make quantum leaps, man.
Just doing a summer camp for 2 weeks, you see a difference. I remember playing basketball
you-
growing up.
you
It's
see
like
it.
You get a lot better, and you come back
Yes.
more confident playing on the playground with guys who used to
Yeah.
beat you.
Yeah, and I tell the parents on my team, I said it's when I say your kids are going to become great basketball players, and they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, it's not. There's no
math.
It's it.
Show up every single day.
Show up every single day, do the work.
Okay, good. Good. You guys saw that? I took off my mic for something and I just got to put it back on. Because I was trying to get it clear. You guys got a clear shot of that interview clip? Okay, so that is an example, or that is the example today. It's a real life example. This content is going to generate, oh God, this content alone, depending on my ad spend, it's going to generate 25 leads a day. Easy, maybe more. We'll see. We're going to put an ad in. We're going to put an ad up on this in a bit. So now, what do I do when I watch that? I didn't do this today. Obviously, I didn't write these 2 pages based on that right now while I was watching it with you guys. But what's important is that is all I am using. That clip to create my content, not the whole interview. You understand that, guys? Is that clear? Why do I have 2 pages of it? Well, first of all, I rewatch it, I pause it, I get details. I want to know that Kobe played in the Sunny Hill League. I want to know those little statistics. I want to throw them in my content. I want to know that he scored 0 points and I was at 11 years old. I want to get some details in there. They're all there. So that's what this sheet is. You want to take some time to create this, okay? And now I'm going to show you guys what I created from this, but I'm going to quickly read off the notes I took based on what you just saw to give you an idea of the depth you can get into, okay? I'm going to take a sip, then I'll do a bit of reading. Take me 2 minutes to read it. These are the bullet points on the content. So when you spin it in your own words, you're not going to go verbatim. Make sense? Okay? Here we go. I start off with the question. I had to fabricate the question. I go, would you like to know how Kobe Bryant went from scoring 0 points in his first tournament, to becoming one of the best ballers in history by using math? That's my question. That's my question. And usually a question has like kind of two little parts to it. Would you like to know how? And then this is for a little more advanced videos, but you want to start thinking that way. You say, would you like to know how this? And that's usually the problem people would have or the problem you're about to solve. How do you become one of the best basketball players in history? By using math? That's like, what? What? Let's hear this. Then you would say something like, well, stick around. This is a little more advanced, but you say stick around, and I'll tell you how he did that. Then you may have your brand logo pop in, okay? Your brand logo. That should be really short, though. Some people have it way too long, but that's okay. Brand logo, and then you get into the content, okay? So, and of course, my introduction, I didn't write that down because I just say Marc Lalonde from Ottawa, Canada. Hello, it's my introduction. So then I go to, at 11 years old, he played in prominent summer league called Sunny Hill League. Those are my notes. Scored 0 points all summer. Says he was terrible. No free throw, no breakaway layup, no lucky shot. I just put those down in bullet points. He went to work. He thought of his long-term view. That's all in the video. I just wrote this down from the video. He mastered the fundamentals. I just put that down. Shooting, jump shot from 15, three-point shot, open shot, shots with speed. That's what I want to put in my video, so I just write it down. Next year, he was a little better. At 12 years old, Kobe worked on fundamentals. Others used their athleticism. Kobe's body had not grown into maturity yet. The other people, their bodies had grown into maturity. That's all I have, little notes. At 14 years old, I put Kobe's athleticism kicked in and he was the best in the whole state. Game over, right? Because his body caught up because he worked on the fundamentals. This is some of the stuff I'll kind of word in my own words, but that's it. That's the content, guys. No, it goes a little longer. He did the math. Kobe played 3 hours a day every day. Most kids played 2 times a week, 1 hour a day. I wrote that down. It's kind of the strategy right there. He coached his daughter's team, and he would tell the parents that their kids are going to be great basketball players. I thought that was great too. Whatever resonates with you, right? And he said, they're like, really? And Kobe says, yeah, it's just math. It's just math. We work the hours, we dominate. And that's it. That's the content. These are my notes, I mean. Now I'm going to use these in content format. I'm going to say them in my own words. But then, look what I put. I go, me as an entrepreneur. My experience here. That is really powerful, guys. You got a story stitch. I didn't necessarily story stitch in this case, but it kind of is. I gave the lesson based on Kobe's experiences. Now I'm using the same lesson, how I applied it in my life, because that makes people connect with you. Make sense? So with me, as an entrepreneur, online entrepreneur, I wanted to make sales and I sucked. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I sucked. So what did I do? I focused on the fundamentals. That's what I put. Fundamentals for me are generating business leads. My peers at the time, because he said, Kobe, I'm going to say it this way. Kobe said that he sucked. Everyone else was better than him. He was terrible. I was terrible. All the other online marketers were better than me. They were generating about 20 leads a day. I wasn't. 0. So that's kind of like, you see how I'm matching up the story? I'm kind of repeating the story. I'm repeating the lesson, but in my experience. Then I go, took me 1 month, I basically say how much I sucked. I say everyone was generating 20 leads a day, the pros, and took me 1 month to generate 1 lead. Kobe said, same lesson, same story. Kobe said he scored 0 points in his first summer. Well, I got 1 lead in my first month, and it was a fake lead. I say that. Well, I will say it, as you'll see. But then I did the math. I worked 17 hours a day, 6 days a week on lead generation, and within 6 months, I was like number 1 on every single leaderboard I could touch. I was the best at that stuff. I was. I'm just saying, it's not because I'm a genius, it's because I put in the friggin' work. Same lesson. And then that's it. And then I basically say, it's not about the years. I made up the moral of the story. because you got to kind of do that a little bit if you want. Well, it's there. It's written in English. It's written on the wall, but I like to reaffirm it. So I say, I'm going to say, it's not about years, months, or days. It's about hours. Put in more hours of work than others, and you will dominate. Just do the math. So this is it. This is my content on paper. Good enough? Fair enough? Makes sense? Anyone can do this. Now this is advanced. This is advanced. But I like to believe, and I really think I'm doing a really good job at explaining it in a simple way. This mini course is, take action on this stuff, learn how to do it properly. You're laughing. Once you do 1 or 2 pieces of content and you realize that that piece of content is bringing you leads all the time and you don't have to contact anyone. Remember, this is niche specific. We're doing small business, entrepreneurship, success. This is all about success. I want to attract entrepreneurs who want to succeed. This is a perfect topic. All those interviews from Lewis Howes are perfect topics. Good? Are we good with this? So what I did was, I did the video last week. I did I was going to say shitty video. They're all shitty when I do them for the first time. They suck because it's hard to do this. Try doing this in one take. Power to you. It ain't happening in one take. For this kind of value, remember, this is not ramble. You have one shot to get these people interested and go to your blog. You got to impress them with the lesson and in the same time get them to see how you related to that. Because they'll contact you, believe me. They'll be like, I saw the Kobe Bryant video and I love what Kobe did, but you also used that strategy to succeed. Tell me more. Here's my link, whatever. You know, we want to attract business to us. So what I'm going to do first thing now is I'm going to plug in the crappy session of mine. Totally unfiltered. You guys have seen me do this before. I don't like doing that. I don't like showing how crappy I actually am. I like showing you the edited stuff only, usually. Like, I mean, for video ads. But this time you're going to see me do the whole process, okay? That takes about 12 minutes. It took me about 12 minutes because I repeat stuff a lot. But it's a good educational technique for you guys to see me screw up so much. It really is. You'll see how bad I am. I guarantee you're better than me. If you're not better than me, you can't be much worse than me in the unedited version. So we're going to play that now. Then I'm going to come back out to you and I'm going to I'm going to come back out to you and say, didn't I suck? I'm just going to come back out and we're going to keep it under an hour today. And then I'm going to show you the edited version. Fair enough? Okay, let's plug that in right now. Here we go. Let me know when you see my screen and I'll see it too. Here we go. Okay, here we are. Hello, Mark, since you're all alone. No live audience, kind of weird, I gotta say. So since this is for educational purposes, I'm going to kind of explain what I do as I go through it, guys. As you're watching the replay of me, there's actually no one here. It's only me. So I'm going to do this in bits, little bits. Then we're going to chop it up and you'll see the final result is great. But we do not want to hide all the flaws that Mark does because I'm terrible at doing this stuff. It's kind of like auto-tune, you know. The final product sounds good or looks okay, but the work involved and the screw-ups are very real. So let's go. How's the mic, Mark? I think we're good. Hey guys, Marc Lalonde from Ottawa, Canada. And would you like to know how Kobe Bryant went from scoring 0 points in his first tournament to being one of the greatest of all time? I don't like that. To becoming one of the best ballers in history using math. Pretty good. That's going to work. Should be catchy. Well, then stick around and I'll show you how Kobe used math to not only get 5 NBA championships, but to become one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Perfect, Mark. We can cut that up pretty good, I think. And if I screwed up, for those of you watching the replay on the webinar, if I screwed up, I would say the sentence 2 or 3 times, but I'm pretty confident. I got all my notes here. It's like I'm cheating. And you don't want to look at the notes. You want to kind of, even if you're doing little tidbits, take the tidbits and kind of memorize it, the couple of little words, and say them. And pop in your own stuff, as you'll see that I will do. Because a lot of chops are cool. Everybody's doing it on YouTube. Like sometimes every 3 or 4 words. Okay? Jay Shetty's doing it too. If Jay Shetty's doing it, you know it's good. So here we go. So at 11 years old, Kobe Bryant played in one of the most. So at 11 years old, Kobe Bryant played in a prominent summer league called. So at 11 years old, Kobe Bryant played in a prominent summer league called the Sunny Hill League. I got it right. And he scored 0 points all summer. According to Kobe, he says he was terrible. We're talking 0 points, no free throws, no breakaway layups, no lucky shots. 0 points. So then what did Kobe do? He went to work and he had a long-term view. That'll work. So Kobe started working on the fundamentals only. He started mastering his shooting. His jump shot from 15, his three-point shot, his open shots, shooting with speed. And that's all he was and that's all he kept working on his first year, over and over and over again, the fundamentals. Next year, he got a little better. Because at 12 years old, Kobe's body hadn't matured yet. And all of the other players' bodies had. So the other players were counting on their athleticism when Kobe's athleticism wasn't quite there yet. By the time Kobe was 14, his athleticism kicked in. His body matured. Or should I say, no, that's good, that's good, that's good. And at 14 years old, because he worked on those fundamentals for those 2 full years, Kobe was the best in state. As Kobe says, it was game over. Because he had mastered those fundamentals before his body had matured. I think that'll work. We're going to cut it up and see how that works. That's a whole sheet. Like a second sheet. So here's where the math comes in, as Kobe likes to call it. He says it's pretty simple. Kobe played 3 hours a day every single day, while most kids played twice a week for 1 hour a day. Kobe says it's simple, it's just math. Hope I didn't put my eyes down too quick. We'll see when we cut it up. Kobe actually coaches his daughter's team today. And he tells all the parents that their kids are going to be great basketball players. And the parents are like, really? Kobe goes, and Kobe says, yes, it's just math. He goes, there's nothing special, it's just math. We put in the hours. Pretty good. So if you think of it, Kobe was terrible. He put in 3 hours a day for 2 years and he became the best. There we go. That's going to be short. It's good because I got to throw in my part now, how I relate to this. And the reason this story is so powerful to me, I think I hit my mic. And the reason this story is so powerful to me is because as an entrepreneur, 5 years ago, I started making sales aggressively. No, 5 years ago, I started mastering sales. And I sucked. In my business of online entrepreneurship, one of the fundamentals is generating leads online. So what did I do? Not unlike Kobe, I mastered the fundamentals. Shooting were the fundamentals for Kobe. Generating leads were the fundamentals for me. Business leads really are the lifeblood for any online entrepreneur. So when I started 5 years ago, my peers, the masters at this game, were generating 20 leads per day. It took me 1 month to generate 1 lead. That's how terrible I was. What was even worse was that 1 lead was a fake lead. So what did I do? I used math. I worked on the fundamentals of lead generation for 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. Within 6 months, I was number 1 on every single leaderboard I would touch. And I was generating over 100 leads per day. So the lesson here is it's not about the years, months, weeks, or even days. It's about the hours on those It's about the hours on those fundamentals. If you put in more hours than work, if you put in more hours of work than the others, you will dominate. Just do the math. That's right. Do the math. Pretty good. I think that'll work. Now call to action. I got to improvise here. If you guys would like to see my entire video library on, what's my brand anyways? Where I talk about changing lives. Well, I should know my plug, my slogan, right? Where I talk about changing lives by creating wealth and improving health. Simply go to thewealthytrainer.com. Bye-bye now and have a great day. I think that'll work. It's the hardest thing, guys, for me, this stuff. So I'm going to rip this up. I'm going to edit it. And let's see what we get out of this. See? That was 15 minutes of struggle. Yes, I struggle with this pre-recorded stuff, but I had to get the content in there. The content's in there. And I bet you I'm going to cut this sucker down to under, that was 14 minutes. I'm going to say this thing will be under 5 minutes. And that's beautiful. That's like, boom. So let's see. Next time I will see you guys, because this is a little clip. I'm going to take it off. I'm going to do my editing. Let's see what the finished product looks like. We got it. We got it all in there. So it's all about the editing. I'll show you guys how to do that too. Bye-bye, Mark, since you're the only one in this room right now. Am I back? Did it go? Did you see that, guys? See that? Told you I sucked. Told you I sucked. Hey, sometimes you got to take a breath. Sometimes you got to think it through. But there's no pressure when you do it that way. Does that help you guys, seeing me do it that way? I wish I would have seen other people do it this way. Every time I do a training, I'm like, why didn't someone break it down like this for me before? Like, show me your struggle. Because now I hope you're looking at that and saying, I can do that. Don't worry about the software, all that stuff. It's software. You have to learn different software on different PCs anyways. All I'm going to do to that video is chop it up for now, okay? Would you like to see the edited version? Which I'm proud to say I believe is under 4 minutes. Not bad, huh? So let's go. So what I'm going to do what I've done is I've cut it up, I've chopped it up. Took me a while to chop up all that crap out of there, but it turned out pretty darn good, I will admit. From what you just saw, I'm going to show you the final result. Not the final result, because I did a third result, but we're going to get to that after we watch the second result. This result I'm going to show you is probably as far as you're going to go at this point. Maybe you'll want to go farther, add some music, add some subtitles, but I will show you a third version because I did the second version, which you're about to see, which is edited. And then I said, you know what, Mark, what are you doing? You got to grow. I said, you got to grow. Throw some music in there. You've added music before. Throw the subtitles in there. I'm going to show you guys how to put in the captions today. But that's after I show you the second version. And I've also added some video clips of Kobe. I've also added, well, you'll see. Let's start with the edited version, which is basically cutting out pieces of your video. I use Camtasia. You can use, I don't know, what do you use for Apple? Is it called ScreenFlow? There's tons of software where you have your video timeline and you just cut out the mumbo jumbo and squish the timeline pieces together. Okay, this is not with this training. I can't get into that today. It's just time that we don't need to do when you have to be resourceful in business. Get the software and YouTube. How do I cut out pieces of my video? You got to be resourceful a little bit, okay? This is not vague. This is specific today. I'm teaching you the important stuff. This stuff is figure-outable, okay? So let me pop in the edited version right now. I will see it, but let me know any ways you can see it, please, okay, in the chat? Let's do that right now. Hey guys, Marc Lalonde from Ottawa, Canada. And would you like to know how Kobe Bryant went from scoring 0 points in his first tournament to becoming one of the best ballers in history using math? Well, then stick around and I'll show you how Kobe used math to not only get 5 NBA championships, but to become one of the greatest basketball players of all time. So at 11 years old, Kobe Bryant played in a prominent summer league called the Sunny Hill League, and he scored 0 points all summer. According to Kobe, he says he was terrible. We're talking 0 points, no free throws, no breakaway layups, no lucky shots. 0 points. So then what did Kobe do? He went to work and he had a long-term view. So Kobe started working on the fundamentals only. He started mastering his shooting, his jump shot from 15, his three-point shot, his open shots, shooting with speed. And that's all he kept working on his first year, over and over and over again, the fundamentals. Next year, he got a little better because at 12 years old, Kobe's body hadn't matured yet, and all of the other players' bodies had. So the other players were counting on their athleticism when Kobe's athleticism wasn't quite there yet. By the time Kobe was 14, his athleticism kicked in. His body matured. And at 14 years old, because he worked on those fundamentals for those 2 full years, Kobe was the best in state. As Kobe says, it was game over because he had mastered those fundamentals before his body had matured. So here's where the math comes in, as Kobe likes to call it. He says it's pretty simple. Kobe played 3 hours a day every single day, while most kids played twice a week for 1 hour a day. Kobe says it's simple, it's just math. Kobe actually coaches his daughter's team today, and he tells all the parents that their kids are going to be great basketball players. And the parents are like, really? And Kobe says, yes, it's just math. He goes, there's nothing special, it's just math. We put in the hours. So if you think of it, Kobe was terrible. He put in 3 hours a day for 2 years, and he became the best. And the reason this story is so powerful to me is because as an entrepreneur, 5 years ago, I started mastering sales. And I sucked. In my business of online entrepreneurship, one of the fundamentals is generating leads online. So what did I do? Not unlike Kobe, I mastered the fundamentals. Shooting were the fundamentals for Kobe. Generating leads were the fundamentals for me. Business leads really are the lifeblood for any online entrepreneur. So when I started 5 years ago, my peers, the masters at this game, were generating 20 leads per day. It took me 1 month to generate 1 lead. That's how terrible I was. What was even worse was that that 1 lead was a fake lead. So what did I do? I used math. I worked on the fundamentals of lead generation for 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. Within 6 months, I was #1 on every single leaderboard I would touch, and I was generating over 100 leads per day. So the lesson here is, it's not about the years, months, weeks, or even days. It's about the hours on those fundamentals. If you put in more hours of work than the others, you will dominate. Just do the math. That's right, do the math. If you guys would like to see my entire video library, where I talk about changing lives by creating wealth and improving health, simply go to thewealthytrainer.com. Bye-bye now and have a great day. So what'd you guys, am I back? Am I on? Hello? So what'd you guys think? What'd you guys think? Was that cool or what? I mean, I'm impressed. I'm impressed, not because it's me, but because from the unedited version to the edited version, it's beautiful. I mean, the content's all there. Everything I wanted to put is in there. What are your comments on that? Do you guys like the way that turned out? Do you like the fact that Oh, do you like the fact that I sucked so bad and you got to see how much I sucked to the end result? Okay, I hope so. My goal is for you to say, I can do that. That's what I want out of this webinar today, or mini course, depending what you're looking at. So, like I said before this clip that I just showed you, I decided, why don't I take it one step further, Mark? Let's try to get some video clips in there, like Jay Shetty does. Jay Shetty, or all the pros. I look at all the motivational videos online. I'm like, oh, look at that. They got music. They usually have an introduction, lower third, you know, where it says your name, Marc Lalonde, the wealthy trainer would be me. That comes in. They have the music. They have the intro video. They have the outro video, like you saw, the call to action video at the end. They have, like I said, music. They have also clips or pictures that zoom into the video. Like a picture of Kobe Bryant or a picture of me #1 on the leaderboards. I got all that stuff. It's all real. Why don't I get screenshots? Or why don't I get scrolling screenshots or fading pictures? Here's what I use for that. I just use Camtasia. I just put them in there and I use the fade function so they fade in, fade out. But the idea is from reality shows. It is. And like on the sad part, you guys watch like America's Got Talent or American Idol or what else? Any reality show or anything really where they, it's usually reality shows where they say the story of someone in like 2 minutes. You know how they have, I grew up on a farm in Arkansas, and then they'll show like the picture of the barn. Or biographies have it too. When Arnold Schwarzenegger was a young wee lad, and then you'll see a picture of like Arnold when he was young. And then sometimes there'll be old video of him doing weights as they're narrating the story. You guys know what I mean? Those little interjected little video clips or pictures. I've done that. I put them in. So you guys want to see that version? You have to see that version. That's the final version. I did it for a lot of reasons because it's not much more work. But I've been, what's that thing that Jordan Belfort says? My boy. He says, the only reason you're not doing the extra thing or improving is because you keep on telling yourself the bullshit story that you can't do it. Something like that. So I'm like, why do the same thing? Let's add something, Mark. excel in your skill. So I've done that. Would you guys like to see that clip? Whether you would like to or not, I'm putting it in right now because I'm very proud of it. I'm going to show you the one with all the extra little bells and whistles, and then we're going to add the captions to it together, because 70% of people don't turn on the freaking volume when they see your video go through the timeline. 70, guys. 70%. They're just looking. And if you look good, if you look entertaining, then they may click that volume, but only 30% of the time. I know this is true to myself too. When I see videos in my timeline, I'm like, I don't want to, it's too much effort to go click that volume button. Or I may be listening to something else, and you know, the Facebook addiction is going through my timeline. So whenever there's subtitles, sometimes I'll just read the subtitles without turning up the volume. And if the subtitles intrigue me, then I'll turn on the volume. So we gotta have those subtitles in there. Okay? So I'm showing you the polished version now, and then I'm going to show you how to do the subtitles. Fair enough? Here we go. Let me know when you see the screen. It's the same video you just saw, but with the bells and whistles. Here we go. Hey guys, Marc Lalonde from Ottawa, Canada. And would you like to know how Kobe Bryant went from scoring 0 points in his first tournament to becoming one of the best ballers in history using math? Well, then stick around and I'll show you how Kobe used math to not only get 5 NBA championships, but to become one of the greatest basketball players of all time. So at 11 years old, Kobe Bryant played in a prominent summer league called the Sunny Hill League, and he scored 0 points all summer. According to Kobe, he says he was terrible. We're talking 0 points, no free throws, no breakaway layups, no lucky shots. 0 points. So then what did Kobe do? He went to work and he had a long-term view. So Kobe started working on the fundamentals only. He started mastering his shooting, his jump shot from 15, his three-point shot, his open shots, shooting with speed. And that's all he kept working on his first year, over and over and over again, the fundamentals. Next year, he got a little better because at 12 years old, Kobe's body hadn't matured yet, and all of the other players' bodies had. So the other players were counting on their athleticism when Kobe's athleticism wasn't quite there yet. By the time Kobe was 14, his athleticism kicked in. His body matured. And at 14 years old, because he worked on those fundamentals for those 2 full years, Kobe was the best in state. As Kobe says, it was game over because he had mastered those fundamentals before his body had matured. So here's where the math comes in, as Kobe likes to call it. He says it's pretty simple. Kobe played 3 hours a day every single day, while most kids played twice a week for 1 hour a day. Kobe says it's simple, it's just math. Kobe actually coaches his daughter's team today, and he tells all the parents that their kids are going to be great basketball players. And the parents are like, really? And Kobe says, yes, it's just math. There's nothing special, it's just math. We put in the hours. So if you think of it, Kobe was terrible. He put in 3 hours a day for 2 years, and he became the best. And the reason this story is so powerful to me is because as an entrepreneur, 5 years ago, I started mastering sales, and I sucked. In my business of online entrepreneurship, one of the fundamentals is generating leads online. So what did I do? Not unlike Kobe, I mastered the fundamentals. Shooting were the fundamentals for Kobe. Generating leads were the fundamentals for me. Business leads really are the lifeblood for any online entrepreneur. So when I started 5 years ago, my peers, the masters at this game, were generating 20 leads per day. It took me 1 month to generate 1 lead. That's how terrible I was. What was even worse was that that 1 lead was a fake lead. So what did I do? I used math. I worked on the fundamentals of lead generation for 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. Within 6 months, I was #1 on every single leaderboard I would touch, and I was generating over 100 leads per day. So the lesson here is, it's not about the years, months, weeks, or even days. It's about the hours on those fundamentals. If you put in more hours of work than the others, you will dominate. Just do the math. That's right, do the math. If you guys would like to see my entire video library, where I talk about changing lives by creating wealth and improving health, simply go to thewealthytrainer.com. Bye-bye now and have a great day. What'd you guys think? Am I back? What'd you guys think of that? Was that pretty cool? It's my best piece of work so far. They're getting better and better and better. Now we need captions. We're going to do that now. But the editing process was pretty cool. Researching clips of Kobe and the music. I'm going to touch on this right now because you guys are probably going to ask, where do you get your music? Where do you get the video clips? Where do you get the images? Right? We got to pay for that legally, right? Right? I can't help you with that, guys. I'll tell you what I do. Sip of water for this one. I just take them. But don't do that. Pay for them. What I'm saying is, I cannot recommend that you just go and take pictures and videos from YouTube channels and from... Technically, how do you do it? I use ScreenFlow and I go save as for images in Google. I go to Google and YouTube. I go Kobe Bryant shooting. Kobe Bryant shooting. I go Kobe Bryant with the trophy. I go, what else do I have in there? Kobe Bryant coaching daughter's basketball team. That's what I do. But I can't, on an official webinar, I can't recommend for you to do that because what? Copyright infringement? I don't know much about that. If I have to deal with it, I'll deal with it when the time comes, but I'm just taking them. I'm not saying, I'm taking them. I'm just going to Google and I'm going, I want an image of this, download, there we go. I'm putting it in my video. Do you guys understand why I can't recommend that you do that? Because it's, well, what if like a company comes after you and they say, you can't use that video. Well, Marc Lalonde said I could. I'm not saying you could. I'm saying I do. Or maybe I don't. Who's to know? I do. I'm going to tell you right now, I do. Maybe in the future, when I want to pay $100 a video clip, which is what they cost. You want a little video clip of someone on the beach with their laptop? It's about $100 if you want to use it in your video. So, if you want to do it by the book, which you, again, you see why this is shady for me to talk about? The one thing I will tell you to take care of, though, once you start making big money, is take care of your taxes, though. I know it's a whole other topic, but I learned that the hard way many, many moons ago. I'm like, when I make a lot of money, then I'll claim taxes. Do that one now. Do that one now. It's different from state to state, but because what does Warren Buffett said? He goes, the best skill you can have, if you're going to have a skill in business, is accounting. I took accounting in university. So and I still have a corporate accountant and a corporate lawyer. So when it comes to that stuff, I don't bug my lawyer about images. we got bigger things that we have to protect ourselves against. And for accounting, that one you don't play with. Okay? I went long about that because I know people are going to ask me, where do you get your images? Where do you get your video clips? Where do you get your music? Yeah, go for royalty-free stuff. I think I saw that. Royalty-free, someone mentioned royalty-free music in Google. Maybe if I like a song, I strip it. That's it. And royalty-free, actually, I'll give you a little tip on that. For music, you may want to look up royalty-free music, or you may want to buy that one. I've bought music before. The music I buy. And the music I buy, not because I'm afraid of like cease and desist letters, which I've gotten many times before also, that's a whole other story. It's because I don't want my video torn off the website. And when you buy music, it's already okay. Like when they sell you music, they're selling you music that is okay on YouTube and Facebook. And like I don't use hit songs by artists, because that'll get taken off. That's the little thing you may want to keep in mind. If you go strip music, don't take like, see, I was going to ask her, Echo, her, you know, my smart speaker. I can't say her name, she'll respond. I was going to ask her to play something, but I syndicate this stuff on every platform, so I don't want it to shut down. Be very careful about that. You may put a lot of work into a video, and because you have a clip of Elton John, they're gonna take it down. Done. So, was that cool or what? You guys understand the process? Can you do a video like at least the second version I showed you? I want to stay within we may go over the hour a little bit, okay guys, just a bit, because I really want to show you how to add the captions. Then after the captions, all I can say is take freaking action. Even if you're not syndicating this stuff, start building your library. Look at it this way. When I have 100 pieces of content, I will not have to go out looking for business. It will come to me. When I have 100 pieces of content, I will no longer have to go look for business. I will make sales on autopilot. People will contact me. Is that a good enough motivator? Put that on your affirmation sheet. When I have 100 pieces of content, if you're saying, well, how do I syndicate it? Where do I put it? For now, just get those 100 pieces. Get those 100 pieces. If you're syndicating 2 pieces of content, it'll bring you some leads, but at least start working on building that library. Fair enough, okay guys? This is what this mini course / webinar is meant to do, is get you taking action. I've given you all the friggin' steps. It's not vague. This is not vague. If you're worried about how to get an image in your software, or how to cut up the image, or how to cut up the timeline, you're looking at the wrong things. Those are details. This is the meat of it, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just share my Facebook. I've uploaded the video 16 hours ago, maybe 12 hours ago. I'm going to go add some captions because I use Facebook now to add the captions. I use Facebook. I don't type them out. I get Facebook to generate my lingo, and then I go correct it. You guys want to see me do that? Of course you do. So let's do that. I'm going to do that now. Let me know when you see my screen, please. Okay. Are we good? Hello, can you guys see my screen, please? The Wealthy Trainer, shameless plug, shameless plug, shameless plug. Hey guys, if I did not have a brand, how can I teach branding, right? So, here we go, and that's another bonus. As you're teaching branding to your people, personal branding, if you have a successful brand, it's a lot easier, and every time you use your brand as an example and syndicate that stuff, guess what? Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching in form of audience members, right? Okay, let's go. I want to add the captions. Now, really quickly, these are hard-coded captions right here. See this? This is not our video we're doing today. This is an older video with hard-coded captions. We're not going to do hard-coded captions today. We are going to do captions within a Facebook business page. That's a Facebook business page. I just say business. Too much Jay-Z on my mind lately. I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man. Okay, let's go. So These are hard-coded captions. We're going to do them within a Facebook business page. And the benefit to this is it's really easy to do. And we can actually just screenshot it from Facebook and create a screen flow shot, I guess you would call it. It's not a screenshot, it's a video shot. You record the screen with the captions and then they become hard-coded. So here's the first step, guys. You need to upload the video to your page. I didn't put many details here. I just wanted to get it up for the purpose of captions. So I just threw it up a little while ago. How Kobe Bryant used math to dominate. Now I'm going to add more to my description, of course. My call to action would be in the description as well, and it would also be with a button once I boost it, because the goal is to advertise this thing. So let's do it. Before you advertise it, before you do anything, you actually add the captions within the Facebook page, okay? So I'm going to go here. On the video, once it is published, I'm going to go edit video or edit post. Now once we're here, you can add tags and all that stuff, but for this, the purpose of this training, can you guys see that? I'm going to actually change the size so that we get a good view of it all. Let me just shrink that a little bit. Here we go. There we go. You guys got it all in there? There we go. Much better. Okay. So here it is. You look on the right side of the subtitles, and I do recommend you put a cover, okay? I'm going to tell you why. Because your captions take up text. Well, I'll tell you why. A cover, a thumbnail. Just since I'm here, if you click on thumbnail, you can select from the existing thumbnails, or you can add your own, okay guys? Just add your own image here. You upload your own image. I haven't created one yet, but I would recommend you do that. So I'm going to go to distribution. No, that's not where I want to go. I want to go to subtitles and captions. So here, all you do is you select the language. English. I don't want to add more languages. Now in the third section, this is very important. This is where we edit the text, because this is English auto-generated. We want to fix that. Because for example, with me, when I used to do this, it would say Mark with a K. You guys know how much I love that. It's Mark with a C. It would say Mark with a K. It would spell it that way. And it would say Malone instead of Lalonde. So if people are just reading it and seeing your name, seeing my name as Mark with a K, Malone, Mark Malone, well, what are they going to do? They're going to look it up in Google and get an entirely different person. So that's an example, but all the wording is jumbled up. So let's go here. You click edit, okay? Little edit button here. And there we go. What did I say? Mark with a K. So I got to tell you guys, it does an incredibly amazing job to start with, instead of typing everything out like I used to do it, or when I do the hard-coded stuff. So this is super easy. All you do is you click on the field up here. You go, you edit it. And I do say Marc Lalonde from Ottawa, Hey guys, Canada. Marc Lalonde from Ottawa, Canada. And would you like to know how Kobe Bryant went from scoring 0 points in his first tournament to becoming one of the best ballers in history using... See how that worked, guys? See how amazing that is? You could play it. If it doesn't correspond with what the video is saying, you just go and edit it and play it from there. I want Kobe with a large K. Went from scoring 0 points, and you played right from there. Math. Well, then stick around and I'll show you how Kobe used math to not only get 5 NBA championships. You see the way it shows up on the screen. Greatest basketball player. So what's beautiful about this is these are the official captions, okay? So if someone does turn on their volume, this disappears. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save draft. Now I'm just doing it quickly for training purposes, but I want to generate this, so I'm going to go save. And there you go. That's all there is to it. Look how quick that was. See that? Go on here, mouse over, it moves up, take off the volume, or I mean add the volume. History using captions disappear. Math. Well then stick around and okay guys, and here's the thing, let me pause that. If you wanted to do this hard-coded, all you have to do is do a screen capture. I mean, all software does that, okay? It says record screen, and that's all there is to it. You position your cursor here, and you record the screen as it's playing. So you would go here, you'd get your screen recording software to square off here, you'd push play, and you'd let it roll. But then you'd have to dub in the sound. You guys know how to do that? I mean, different software is different, of course. So for me, I would have to use either the original recording, which is what I would do, or you can unmute it for the first recording. 5 NBA championships. Just like that. To become one of the greatest just record it with of all this time. Sound so that you get the sound, and then in the software, I don't want to get too techie on the software because it depends on the software, but all software allows you to separate your audio and your video. So you would separate your audio, but if you have the original recording, you don't need to record the sound. You already have the sound. You're just separating your audio and video, deleting the video, and then you're going to play this with the captions. Just like that. Record the screen like this. And now this will become hard-coded. You guys understand how that works? So right now it's a little bit of mumbo jumbo, but that's because I just did it quick. You would want to go through your entire video and edit all the text. Is that pretty clear? It's pretty awesome. It's actually very awesome. Like, look at the great job it does without me doing anything to it. Like, look at that. There's just a few corrections to do here. So you don't need to actually go through Rev. You don't need to go through Rev is rev.com. If you ever need to transcribe something, they'll do it for you. I don't know, a couple of 5 cents a word. No, less than that, a penny a word, I think. But you don't need to do that here. Okay, guys? Pretty simple. So now, of course, I want to advertise this. So I would boost this. I got a credit. I guess I got an ad credit. I think Facebook gives you credits depending on how much you spend on your ad account. But I'm going to obviously fix all the text before I do that. I'm going to fix the call to action. I'm going to add a call to action button. And then just really quickly, this is not an advertising webinar or mini course. This is just to get the content done. But I will mention this because the purpose of this video is to get people to go to my blog so that I could pixel them or capture them on my blog. There's 2 reasons. Number 1, I want to capture them with my Facebook retargeting pixel so that they go into my custom audience. That's number 1. Now, without going into too many details, you can capture them from the video itself as well by having a Facebook pixel on the video. That's out of the scope of this training, but some people may say, why aren't you just doing that, Mark, instead of sending them to your blog? Well, because there's a second reason. And the second reason is I want them to go to my blog so that they could fall into the Marc Lalonde rabbit hole or the black hole of Marc Lalonde because I have content up there. Let's go take a quick look at my blog. There it is. As soon as they land on this, they get captured in the pixel. They get captured in my custom audience. Like I said, I could have done it right from the video, but I will do it. I do it on both, actually. I do it on both. So if they do watch the video, they're still in my custom audience. But again, that's out of scope for this training. But the second reason is when they do come to my blog, look at all the content, guys. Look at all the content that they could check out. So even if they just go to webinars, these are all the webinars I've done, not just in Branding University, and everything. I mean, it's endless. Even if you go to life hacks, let's go take a look at the random life hacks, just for people who are just want to see some random stuff. Like it's never-ending content, right, Nadia? Are you on? Never-ending content. So I mean, The more someone sees you, the more they get to know you. This game is all about buying attention. Buying attention. That's what we're doing. We're getting attention. And they're not for the lost because we have them in our custom pixels. So the reason we want to retarget to them is so that we show ourselves to them on a regular basis all the time, 7 times, and then a call to action. But check this out. If they come to your blog and they check out 7 of your pieces of content here, they're ready to buy from you. Does that make sense? It's just more exposures. Make sense, guys? So I'm going to go back. You guys understand how to get the captions in there now? So let me come back out to you guys and summarize everything we just covered here today. This is very, 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 very powerful stuff. It's not only powerful stuff. Well, let me come out and I'll tell you. Did part 1 and part 2 of this series, or if you're looking at the mini course, both of these webinars are combined. But let me come out and I will summarize how much you need to take action on this. Okay, guys? Content creation. Here I come. Let me know when you see me out there, please. Okay, guys? Did it make sense? If it didn't make sense, this is probably, I'm going to say it's probably the most important webinar series we've done, especially for free, guys. This is it. This is it. This is it. If it weren't for this is my best, probably one of my best pieces of content thus far, and you got it all on how to do this. You know how long it took me? You know how long it took me to figure this out? That this is how leads come to me on autopilot all the time, and the more of these things I do, the more leads come. Hey, listen, guys, in 1 year from today, I'm hanging out with these fellas. I am. Maybe not at Gary Vee or Ty Lopez level or Grant Cardone, but it won't take me long using this. This is what this is about. Every time someone watches my friggin' video, they end up in my custom audience. Every day. Yeah, I get thousands of new followers per day. You guys have no idea I have because I segment them in my list. Like segment lists. Segmented audiences. I'm not going to try to capture people in a custom audience that are already in the custom audience. These are advanced things, but what I'm saying is my lead flow is in the thousands right now, and the more content I put out, the more thousands it'll be. Ty Lopez says he gets like 100,000 leads per day. I see it. More content. Just get it out there. My strategy is a little different than all these guys. It's much better because I need to get there quicker. I don't have 20 years to get to those levels. Well, I do, but I want to get there. I want to get there in 2 years. I'm not saying it's better. I learn from all of these people every day and more. But what I showed you today, please start taking action. And don't worry about your videos sucking, sucky. Mine were sucky in the beginning. And they still are. What you saw today, they're going to just get better and better and better. You add on to it. Like the invention of the calculator, right? The invention of the calculator started with addition only. Then when somebody added subtraction, there's no S, they just added to the addition. Then when someone added multiplication, they didn't have to recreate addition, subtraction. They added the multiplication to what was already there. Now the damn thing could multiply. Then someone added the division to the multiplication, to what was already there. Now we got a real machine here. Same thing with programming and code. We add to what already works. And that's what you're going to do. You just get what you can do out now. Fair enough? Or get it done now. So guys, this is it. I got nothing more to say than do it. You know where to go look for content to start with. Well, you know where to, you just go look there. You'll have content forever. Lewis Howes and Tom Bielier, they release friggin' interviews all the time. I haven't seen 10% of them. Content for life. And it's always entrepreneurship, small business, success, bettering your life, bettering your health, better life stuff. better life stuff you cannot go wrong with. Most of it is tailored around business. So, are we cool, guys? Do you have enough to run with? What more can I add to that? I could do an open QA, but I want to stay within time, okay, guys? I want to stay within time. Feel free to use me as an example as much as you want. You can also steal my videos. You can steal my content. You can repeat what I teach, okay? That's okay with me. Some people get freaked out. It's okay. What I'm teaching you guys, you can also teach. That's kind of what, it's a powerful strategy. Like, you know, TWIT, teach what I teach. TWIT, it's my term, it's my acronym. Well, it's my acronym, I made it up. Don't only do what I teach, but TWIT, T-W-I-T, teach what I teach. If you do your own training on this 2-part series, you can have your own capture page, and you don't have to say, I learned this from Marc Lalonde. I'm not going to come after you and say, oh, you're copying me. Oh, come, give me a break. It's just immature. So, are we good? I hope we're good. I know we're good. I know the content in this, either this two-part webinar series. Go back to part 1, 7 steps to getting started, and watch again today. It's a 2-part series. They're back-to-back in your training vault in Branding University. Or, I don't know, like if you're watching this on November 25th on Sunday, the mini course isn't out yet, but it'll be out next week. Or you may be watching it in the mini course. Content is king is what I think I'm either going to call it or what it's called as you're watching it. Thanks, guys. It's been a real slice. I had a lot of fun doing this 2-part series for this mini course because I excelled. I excelled my own skills. And you'll notice as you teach, you're going to excel too, which is important to teach others what you know, because doing it and teaching it are different. When you teach it, you have to learn more stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you better your skills at it. Okay, guys, thanks for coming out this fine Sunday, or thanks for watching the mini course. Okay, guys, I will see you guys either within Branding University or on social media. Bye-bye. Have an awesome Sunday.